Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Formula Trout League. We are here for the Sprint Series. I am Alex Cochran. I'll be shortly joined by Maxi Younger, the four-time Trout champion, who always likes to be plugged that El Quattro. But hopefully you can see the stream. My streaming software is broken, and all I can see is the weight screen. But hopefully you can see the action on track. We are here at Bahrain. You join us in qualifying. Just 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go here on track. Currently on pole is Andy Park, followed by Thomas Barbary. Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Mulfitova, I suppose. I'll have to ask you that. We've got a lot of new drivers here today in the Sprint Series. This is Season 8 of the Sprint Series. We're using now the Formula RSS 2 V6 2024. Quite a mouthful, but... yeah, it's based on, you know, very obviously inspired by real-life Formula 2 regulations. Very similar to the current modern-day Formula 2 car, with an Assetto Corsa and a Race Sim Studio spin on it. Currently following Steve Stevenson, who's just coming through the final corner here at Bahrain. Looks to be just finishing a lap. Oh, going into the pit lane, actually. So he'll be just setting up for his last run. Currently in P5 as well is Felipe Olsen. A lot of names you'll recognise here, a lot of names you don't recognise here, which is, you know, always fantastic to see. You know, a mix of old and new. Still shows after, what, over 10 years now in Assetto Corsa. The interest is still there as we see someone spinning off. I think that is Oliver Walter just spinning off at turn 2. We'll get going again, hopefully not impede anyone. Thomas Barbary, though, still P2, less than a tenth to Park in P1, and he's on a fast lap, so we'll see what he can do. We ride on board now in this middle sector of Bahrain. Very, very challenging circuit. Very difficult in these cars. I'm just going to double check the stream to make sure you can see. Might hear a bit of double audio briefly. Yes, you can see the stream, although my voice is very loud compared to the cars, so we'll just play with the audio levels. Yeah, apologies for the bit disorganized stream here. I was called into streaming last minute. I was supposed to be on track today, but yeah, I am streaming right now. As said, Maxi Younger will be joining us shortly. We'll be able to watch the racing go ahead, but Barbary is still on a lap. 4 tenths up even, actually, so we ride on board yet again as he comes through the penultimate corner. Just one more to go. Yellow flags for a car further down as Kevin Vanet goes up to P7. So through the final corner, quite tentative, quite slow, but then guides it through. Olsen improving as well, up to P4, 38.6. And Barbary up to P1 then, so provisional pole for Barbary. Andy Park, though, will be starting a lap. A minute to go here in qualifying at Bahrain. Mulfitar, really sorry to pronounce this. Maybe Maxi can help me when he joins. I'm a very ignorant British person who is not very good at pronouncing anything that is not Smith. But we see coming through into Sector 2, into the fast right and left-hander. Really tricky in this car over the curbs. There's yellow flags out for a car. They've gone back to the pit lane. Some Morim in P7 as well, coming into turn 1. Little lock of the brakes. Who else do we have on track? Roberto Radocchia, also in the middle sector. But eyes on that anti-park there. Now on a lap. What can they do about Thomas? Checkered flag is out. So we have a very busy track. Only 12 minutes here in the sprint series for this session. So drivers really having to get the laps in from the get-go. And we are joined now by Maxi Younger. Hello, Maxi.
Hello. Could you please stream your POV so I could access stream as well?
I can do that for you, Maxi, yes. We're currently following Andy Park around on a hot lap. Checkered flag is out here at Bahrain. Lots of understeer in the car. You see coming into that left-hander there. I mean, this one, obviously easy flat, but the left-hander before, a lot of understeer. You have to get with a lot of lock and the car just not turning in. Oh, as they hit the bollard, and that's their lap over. Andy Park hitting the bollard at the penultimate corner after the checkered flag is out is their last chance at a lap, and they've thrown it away, basically. They're definitely not improving now. They were well outside track limits. So can Amorim improve? Just coming over the line. No, Amorim does not improve. Jack Smith, not Smith, Jack Smith. This is someone different into the pit lane. Also, Sam Assis. Hey, I'm going to need you to help Maxi with these names because I'm very bad at pronouncing things.
I believe it's... Oh, okay, that's difficult. Kotsambasi, maybe.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, if anyone's rewatching this, you can send me a private message on Discord, and I'll do my best to learn your name for the next round. But we have then checkered flag is out. Everyone is now just coming into the pit lane. Just one last car to go. Thomas Barbary on pole here in season 8, round 1 at Bahrain. Alongside him on the front row is, I don't know what your first name is. I
will get that for you. I will get that for you. 1 second. Sara Morfetova.
Morfetova. Okay, I'll try my best.
Yes.
Also then, so on the second row, we have Andy Park, 0.3 to Barbary on P1. Very close times here at Bahrain. Felipe Olsen alongside them in P4. Good qualifying for him. Steve Stevenson in P5. Not a bad finish, but then 0.6 off, which is quite a far down.
It's unusual for Steve. Usually you see him within a 10th or 2 of the top drivers, or he himself leading the pace.
Yeah, known to be very fast qualifier. Who else do we have? We have
Theo Krej, racing for Impact Blue. He's the new Impact Blue driver for this season. They've just signed him a few days before the race. Giovanni Amorim for Griffin Gaming in P7. Roberto Radocchia for a team that is not signed up yet. The Chicken Car will be making a comeback, but
fly again.
It shall fly again. But that's after race 2. Kevin Vanet for Impact Blue in P9, and Isbran Valenti. Oh, I believe Jack Smith just pipped Isbrand for P10 there.
Yeah, I think they may have left the server.
Potentially. Well, anyway, that's our top 10, and yeah, excited to see what the race gives us.
Yeah, so here in the sprint series today, it's the sprint series. It's not the Premier Series. It's a car which would, traditionally with the DRS and things, more what you would see in the Premier Series. But it's here in the sprint series. It's in the 25-minute format. The 2 races, reverse grid in race 2 for that top 10. So, race lights to flag, basically. It'll be very intense. I've drove the car in practice a little bit, and it's a very fun car to drive. It's a very difficult car to drive. Almost like a GT car, how you battle it, side by side throughout half the lap. We should see some very good fights, and the times are nice and close there. So cars will take the grid now. You find pole sitter of Thomas Marbury, I believe.
I believe these are the fastest cars we've ever raced in the Sprint Series, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm curious to see what kind of racing we're going to get during this race. Obviously, the DRS will help. We've not had DRS in previous seasons. We've used the Lara F317, and then previously also the Formula E car, and therefore no DRS. So this is, I believe, also one of our first seasons in the Sprint Series with DRS. So this will hopefully help people get alongside each other and promote some good racing.
Yeah, these cars are a lot heavier than the F3 cars we've raced before, but then a lot more downforce too. So the braking distance is, although bigger, it's a very different style of racing. So that DRS should help close up the field substantially. Not long to go now. Flags until the lights go out. We see Assetto Corsa's trademark 6 lights, as we like to say every time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 red lights of Assetto Corsa. And away they go. It's a good start on the inside and a bad start for Thomas Barbary. The younger car getting beaten at the getaway. The rest of the field looks pretty nervous. To the inside goes Andy Park, that is.
That's Andy Park there on the curb. Might take the lead.
A lot of
Thomas Barbary has to go over the grass.
Still holds on to the lead.
Stevenson on the inside there. Stevenson's had an amazing start, going from P5 to P1.
Stevenson into the lead. Barbary way off the track, but still managed to hold on to P2. I'm sure there may be some discussions there because there was a bit of a Mexico 2016, I'd say, but still action further back. Looks mostly clean though. Quite hard to tell apart the cars when a lot of them are in their own livery. But Olsen up to P3 as well in the Griffin, so great start from him. A few cars off in the background.
I believe that's a Morim that's lost a few positions there. Ryan Hawke up to P10. So he's had a great start there, considering where he qualified. And then we have the leading two JGP cars. It's amazing start from Stevenson to start P5 and by the second corner being P1.
Yeah, in the action, I didn't really see what happened, but he's just, both the younger cars have actually pulled a gap to the rest of the field there. So Barbary very, very close. No DRS on lap 1, of course, but if he can stay there and that gap to Olsen will stay about the same, both these younger cars could run away.
He's close enough to use the slipstream to get alongside. I think we're going to see a move here in turn 1. Tries the outside. This forces Stevenson to defend, but I don't believe this is enough for Barbary to get alongside a second time. Let's see if Stevenson is forced to defend here. I think he will be. No. So Stevenson manages to keep the lead so far. Further back down the field, we see an Impact Blue car going on the Griffin Gaming. I believe that's
a younger car, I think.
Oh, it's sorry. There. Well, they're both okay. So I'm going to excuse myself here because they are both white and blue this season. Griffin Gaming, of course, inspired by the greatest livery maker of all time, Shadow, who makes our younger GP liveries and younger GP Academy respectively. And Griffin Gaming has decided to go for a more white and blue approach this season. So I think we'll have this confusion a few times until we are able to distinguish the liveries better. And there we see Barbieri off. Oh, that's a Morin there who's lost out. He's spun. I wonder what happened there, if it was an incident or he had just spun by himself. Thomas Barbieri still managing to really keep behind Stevenson really close. Once the DRS will open, I believe the move should be on easily. I believe for a second I thought they were going into pits, but we see Park defending from Mulfatova here. And does she have enough slipstream to get alongside him? I believe so. On the braking, side by side. Will he leave the space? Will he run her off? He leaves the space. She runs him off. And back into slipstream, tucking in. Still defending, Park defending really well at the moment on the inside. Molfetova gets it done maybe around the outside. No, they're still side by side. They're going to go into chicane together. Oh!
I think there was contact there.
There was contact. Park somehow manages to keep it together though, and lives to fight another day. Now DRS will be activated, I believe, this lap when they will cross the finish line.
Should have it, I think, this one.
There's
Yeah,
3 DRS zones. Oh,
Babri with the
okay.
DRS.
Babri with the DRS, but I don't believe on this straight he'll be able to get close. It'll just help him to stay close for the rest of the lap. And let's watch as well for Molfetova and Park. We're having a bit of a scrap there. It got a little bit personal for a second, I saw.
Oh, Stevenson wide.
Oh, Stevenson wide there. And Thomas Barbieri now very close. I believe he's going to wait for the DRS, however. That would be the strategic move. And obviously for myself, seeing these two fighting like this, a little bit difficult, but we shall push on. Okay, now Thomas Barbieri with DRS will probably get past quite easily. I saw Stevenson there opening his DRS for just 1 second. That might penalize him for the rest of race. Olsen is also waiting there in the wings. If these two have any sort of incident, any sort of moment between each other, he's there to profit from it. And we see some sort of incident towards the back of the field. It's Ryan Hogg on his mouse, making some sort of mistake. Stevenson now, well, I believe his pace is a little bit off when compared to Thomas.
Yeah.
But the DRS might keep him in game. So let's see. We do not know yet how powerful the DRS is. Obviously, it's the first race with the car, but he's 6/10 behind now. Let's see where he ends up by the end of straight. About
nothing.
So yeah, nothing. So DRS doesn't seem to be particularly powerful. Maybe a 10th on this shorter straight.
Cody Lawrence is in this race, of course, though we've not really
Cody
mentioned
Lawrence
him.
is in this race, of course. So Cody Lawrence is racing as a solo entry this race. He has decided not to compete for Junior GP this season due to he will take a more easy season. He's not going to attend all the races. He's just going to do the few races he enjoys. As we see Cody Lawrence make the move on Radokia there with DRS. Easy does it, gets past before the braking zone and keeps that position. Now Cody Lawrence has decided to start from the back of the grid. He's doing a last to first challenge.
Oh, Stevenson,
so
yellow flag.
Stevenson's yellow flag. Stevenson's off. Stevenson back down to P5 where he qualified. And that promotes Molfetova and Park into P3 and P4 respectively. As we see Molfetova, I spoke too soon. Commentator discussed that. Down to P5. Was that some sort of incident between Park and herself?
I really don't know. It looks like people are just struggling with the car.
I believe the car's particularly difficult over curbs, if I've understood it correctly. So that
you do
might
have
be
the option on tyres, and actually, interestingly, most of the drivers are electing for the super soft, but Park. Oh, Stevenson round again.
Oh no, it's going disastrously for him. The UHB team principal watching in pain as this is happening. As we see Cody Lawrence up to P4 now,
yeah,
and all that.
All this chaos, Cody picking up the pieces.
Oh my god, they're pushing each other on the straight.
By by side into turn 1. Who will come out in front? They're still side by side. So Dokia has to back off and Craig getting in position, but it's still tucked up into the rear wing with that DRS. I'm not going to go side by side again. No, that looks like.
Oh, they've been optimistic, let's say.
Yeah. Dokia then losing the position. Lawrence building that gap as well, so over a second now to P4, P5. Cody definitely looking ahead. Got Godfrey there off turn 3, and Stevenson again.
He's having a horrible time there out there on track at the moment.
Car spinning in avoidance there, not sure who it was, but unfortunately for them, Ryan Hawk having to go up the inside. The gaps at the front after all that have increased massively. Bahrain has a 4-second lead to Olsen.
I believe Mofetova might be going for a move though. We have Mofetova quite close to Roberto Radocchio at the moment. I believe some sort of spin happened to her as well. A little bit of a DRS train there with Theo Krej leading it. So Radocchio at the moment profiting from the fact he's in DRS range. Still goes for the dive. Massive braking zone, massive dive. Manages to make it stick. Almost. On the outside there. Will she get DRS? They will both get DRS, as I mentioned earlier actually. So still has the inside line, might do a second braking maneuver there and manages to get past Radocchio. Impressive, very impressive move there.
Very, very brave. Paid off though. Didn't think it was going to stick on that straight, but yeah, they...
Props to Radocchio as well for not closing the door there. Leaving the necessary space so that she could do the move. So now Sarah Mofetova on the back of Theo Krej, and as well we're watching Wallenty and Kevin Isbrand Wallenty and Kevin Vanett. Kevin Vanett, one of the most experienced drivers here, actually.
That's crazy.
And a regular, yeah, a regular of the sprint series now. And yeah, always nice to see this Impact Blue car, full French representation here from the Trout League. So French team, 2 French drivers, and yeah, now chasing. Who was it? Isbrand Wallenty. Sorry, the names will come as the season progresses. As we see the battle further up front, Krej is trying to defend from Mofetova, but Mofetova seems on a mission today to... Oh, as we see as well, we've got Kevin Vanett making the move on Wallenty. Wallenty might fight it back though. I believe he will get DRS this time, but no, not enough to get alongside. So, oh, that's Krej again. Krej and Mofetova still fighting for position. Oh, Mofetova closes the door and manages to keep position at the moment. But yeah, I was going to say, the DRS doesn't seem as strong as I expected it to be. So, in obviously the Premier Series, we're using the F1 based cars, F1 regulation, and the DRS is extremely strong in these cars. The DRS seems more like a slight aid.
Yeah, it's only really a slam dunk overtake if you're like 2/10 behind, and probably with the slipstream it would be a slam dunk overtake anyway. So it does seem very, very well judged to what you see in some other cars. You know, these heavier cars, more aero, you feel the dirty air a lot more. You can see there Radocchio dropping back from the car in front, and the DRS on that start-finish straight should just help them stay that little bit closer. Lawrence is right on the back of Park as well.
Lawrence on the back of Park. This is for the first podium spot, P3. Park going very defensive very early. And now Lawrence will have his DRS open, will be fully in slipstream. This will be a big move here around the outside. Park stays still very much on the inside line. Allows Cody to maybe get a better exit, prepare for the next opportunity, which is coming at turn 3. Does he manage to get alongside around the outside? Will he outbrake Park? Ooh, a little bit of a slide there. Doesn't manage to keep it alongside Park, so Park taking racing line. And very well defended from Park, must say so. Positioning his car just perfectly on that turn 1 to not allow Lawrence to stay alongside.
Still 10 minutes to go though, so how long can he hold on for?
Yeah, these short races always action-packed. Obviously, next race the grid will be reversed. We'll have every position you gain is 1 position further back for the next start. So we'll have these drivers shuffled around again, and I think that's going to produce some exciting racing too.
Ooh, a wobble there from Park on entry.
Park makes a slight mistake. Tries to take the inside line to not give any slipstream to Cody Lawrence. Or brakes very early. I believe that was maybe on purpose. It's often a strategy of drivers to try to slow the car behind down before the corner entry. But Cody there managed to get out as Andy Park comes back. Dives around and down the inside and manages to get alongside Cody again, defends. Cody now alongside with the DRS, I believe, must be on the outside at the moment. We can't see on the TV cam. We can see him now. Does Andy Park manage to make it?
Little touch there, side by side though.
With still side by side. Andy Park still keeping it in there. And now we'll have the inside line.
Lawrence with the much better exit.
Nice
there
little
with the
switchback. Will they leave each other space? Oh, this is always tight into these. And Cody Lawrence, after a hell of a fight, manages to make it past Andy Park there. But yeah, amazing defense from Andy Park. And tries it again. Wow, well that was very optimistic there. Into a small braking zone to try and dive it, but yeah, Andy Park defending like there's no tomorrow. Now, you know, you've got to ask yourself, was it worth it? Because now you've got Mulfitova on your back, who we've seen this race so far is quite good at overtaking, quite aggressive, and you know, was it worth to fight that hard for the P3 to keep Lawrence behind?
Seconds lost that lap for Park.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds lost. So there you go. That just puts him into the clutches of Mulfitova now.
Does it though?
But
look how close he is to Lawrence.
Look how close he is to Lawrence. Exactly. So now they're gonna keep fighting each other. Cars behind are gonna be loving this, watching the spectacle from behind, thinking I might get into the action in a second. Still side by side into that chicane. They touch again. And Mulfitova side by side now with Andy Park as he's lost out from the battle with Cody Lawrence. Some beautiful action here in the first round of Speed Series. Now we've got Theo Krejci for Impact Blue trying to make a move, but doesn't quite make it stick. So we are in the same order that we started the lap with, really. Cody Lawrence 3rd, Andy Park 4th, Mulfitova 5th, and Krejci in 6th. But it is heating up. We're definitely going to see some position changes, I believe.
Yeah, all that action and crazy for them to still be in the same positions. Really showing this car, though, fantastic example of how, you know, slightly lower powered cars, the crazy racing you can get. And especially these 25-minute races, you're just pushing all the way. That's why those, you would say, desperate moves in a longer race, but here in a sprint series, you know, when you've got that 25 minutes, every move counts. You've got to get it done. Lawrence, though.
Well, here we go, round 2.
Yeah.
Round 2. We'll Park dive on Lawrence. We've seen Park try some really brave moves, so... Oh, he does go for it. He does look for it. Cody, will he leave the space? Barely. And now Andy Park very close to Cody Lawrence again. So DRS is working. I believe Park might be running lower wings. I think that's the strategy here. As he gets alongside Cody once again, Cody will defend the inside. And Mulfitova is just sort of sitting back. Doesn't know when to go for the move, where to go for the move. But I believe what we're seeing here is a difference in setup, because the downforce...
Oh, hits the bollard.
Hits the bollard. Front axle lifts up in the air.
Filters him down all the way to P6. Well, all the way to P6. He's still right in this battle.
Yeah, 2/10 behind Theo Krej now. Well, he managed to get past at the first opportunity. And remember, he's on the soft tire, so right now I believe he does have a tire advantage, I would say. Everyone else is on super softs around him. So for sure he's driving with a little bit less wear. I've heard that these tires are very easy to overheat as well. Once they're overheated, it's very difficult to get them back into working temp. So yeah, quite an interesting situation for Park here, because as we see a little bit of a moment from Krej, but managed to keep it together expertly. Allows Radokia to get close though, might make a move here. Radokia with the slipstream, both of them have DRS. Krej feels the need to defend, and does Radokia manage to get past? No, not at the moment. Krej defends very well.
Really strong driving from both of them there. I don't know if Krej maybe made contact with the back of Park there in the braking zone. I think it was slight, but they were so deep in the corner, obviously racing each other. I think Park just minding his own business, just got a little touch up the back of the smoke there from someone who's gone off. I think it's a lapped car.
That's Mulfitova. No, that's Mulfitova. Isn't it? It's
yes,
the same livery.
it is. It is.
What is Mulfitova? Well,
Park,
yeah,
up
Park,
to P4.
back up. What's happening? Everything's happening.
You could hear the wheel spin on the exit there. I think that was Park maybe, but right tucked up in the rear wing.
Now Theo Krej is managing to get alongside Mulfitova for P5. Gets the move done. I mean, this is very action-packed, this race. I didn't expect that pre-race, to be honest. You know, we always thought the F317 was the best car choice for this type of racing, but, you know, we're being proven wrong at the moment. Roberto Radokia up, you know, staying close with Mulfitova there as well. Is he going to try and move into the last corner? That's not ideal.
Oh,
he
that
tries
was an
to move there.
one. He wasn't
That
fully
was really
committed.
awkward. He wasn't fully committed there, so Roberto Radokia now staying close. He's slowed down Mulfitova from getting too close to Krej, so maybe that was the plan. Maybe get him out of the slipstream. Managed to get the move done at the moment. Mulfitova's going to have a better exit here though, and it's going to have the slipstream and the DRS to try and fight back. Radokia, however, still in DRS range of Krej, so Mulfitova's going to try it around the outside. That's a very brave one if she manages to make it stick. Radokia doesn't leave a lot of space, but just enough for a car to fit in there. Mulfitova has to wait still.
Look at the understeer.
The understeer is massive. I believe this is the tire heat up that I've been told of pre-race by the English B drivers specifically. And they were mentioning that once... Oh, as we see Theo Krej, no! Theo Krej off, spinning there. He has to wait. Now he has to wait for everyone to pass, spin it around Stevenson to get back into P9, Valentin in P8 and Vanet in P7. Mulfitova P6, Radokia P5. So Radokia having a brilliant race at the moment. I don't remember quite where he started, but he's just keeping it consistent.
Yeah, just keeping out of trouble really. Everyone's kind of crashing around him and he's just keeping it clean.
I must say though, these rookies that we are having on this grid right now are providing amazing racing. They're providing all the action. Amazing moves, amazing dives. It's been pretty clean so far, so let's see, 1 minute to go. I believe this might be the last lap in this case, I don't quite remember. Okay, so here we see Molfitova going down the inside of Radokia, doesn't manage to make it strict. Will this allow Vanet to make a move on both of them? Molfitova again alongside Roberta Radokia. I believe she's the fastest of the three. Molfitova down the inside, managed to make it stick. Now Kevin Vanet is trying it on Radokia. No chance there though. Radokia manages to stay at least in P6, not lose out too much. And now we've got 1 lap left of this. Let's see where Thomas Barbieri is. Second to last corner. Will he make it past the start-finish line before the lap ends? That's a question. Steve Stevenson there fighting for position with Wallenty, I believe. And Barbieri has a few, he'll be very tight, has a few seconds to make it. Final lap.
We go again, we go again.
So we are going again. Okay, just on the limit he must have been there. So we're gonna go again then. Kevin Vanet just on the back of Radokia. Molfitova has managed, oh, he's gonna try it into the last corner. I think he might believe this is the final lap now. So he tries in the last corner, doesn't manage to make it stick. Has the DRS now, however. Oh no, both of them have DRS. I believe that's off of Molfitova there. Radokia has lost 2 seconds that lap battling. Molfitova has managed to escape them a little bit. So this is the real battle. It's between Kevin Vanet and Radokia and Stevenson and Wallenty. Stevenson managed to get past Wallenty there. We've got Amore making the pass with Theo Krej. They're fighting for P10. Now this is for pole. This is for race 2 pole. And wow. That's Theo Krej going off there. No, it's Amore going off there. Sorry. Who was it? What were we watching? Sorry. Got a bit confused there. As we see somebody go off there in the background.
Oh,
I think that's Radokia. Oh no. Oh no, Radokia. You were doing so well. We were praising you. And that's Theo Krej. Or Vanet. It's Vanet. It's both of them. Did they crash into each other? Isbrand Wallenty loses it almost completely. It's mayhem on the last lap. Well there. Who is getting that pole? So we've got Thomas Barbieri crossing to win the first race of Season 8 of Sprint Series. Brilliant result for him. He's gonna lead this championship for the moment. Olsen in P2, about to cross the line as well. And Cody Lawrence going from last place to third. Amazing performance for him. But we've got for P7 right now a big fight going on. P7 all the way down to P9. Kevin Vanet does manage to stay close to Wallenty, so Wallenty managed to keep P7. P6 for Stevenson, nice recovery as well from Andy Park and Molfitova, who are P4 and P5 respectively. Vanet finishes in P8, Radokia P9, and Theo Krej manages to keep P10 for the sprint pole, for race 2 pole. As we see Amorim finishing in P11, followed by Smith. Brenna is fighting Ryan Hawk for the wooden spoon, I believe. Oh, as they get very close, wing under the rear wing. And no, I believe Godfrey is in last place at the moment, as well as Kotsampasi, who must be waiting. Yeah, Godfrey, last of the finishes. Gonna cross the line in P16. Waves does a little bit of wave for the stream. Hello. And yeah, that rounds out our finishers. I believe we have one or two DNFs. We've got Kotsampasi in the pits and maybe someone else as well that isn't showing up at the moment. But that was race 1. What do you think about that, Alex?
Wow, that was crazy.
Big wow. That was crazy. That was a lot of action.
I didn't expect that from this car.
I didn't expect that from this car either. We thought it was going to be a little bit clumsy in the racing department, and it is. It is
I think
clumsy.
it is clumsy.
But
It looks like a heavy car, but it just means the racing's so close.
yeah, well, that was a great race.
Incredible. I mean, Barbary, you know, not really mentioned, but not the best start in the world, but obviously taking that P1 back from Stevenson and then holding on until the very end. So massive congratulations to him.
Yeah,
Olsen
a great
as well.
performance. Really,
You know,
well done from Barbary. He led pretty much from the point that he overtakes Stevenson, just eked out the gap from Olsen, and yeah, Olsen in P2. A very Olsen drive, I feel like, that can be described. So he's one of these drivers that doesn't seem to get into trouble much. He just does his race, and you know, he ends up in good positions always. Hasn't had a win yet in Sprint Series, but you know, looking at how he's done in race 1, he's one to watch for the season, I believe. As well as Cody Lawrence, P3, coming from last place to climb all the way there
really
in a fairly big field. We've got today 17 cars on the grid, so yeah, impressive performance from Lawrence.
Yeah, I think for me, driver of the day there was Lawrence. Honestly, like I think Lawrence may be one of them drivers where obviously he's won so much, and people say like, oh well, he wins, he's fast, but can he race? And he can. Like that was really impressive racecraft there. You know, just enough room, just the right defense, just the right attack, and yeah, managed to get up to that P3. You know, everyone's fallen off the road around him. He's racing for it, and yeah, well deserved podium for him. Now, what can he do from P8? Barbary do from P10?
Well, yeah, obviously the grid is reversed now. So we've got Thomas Barbary. He's going to be starting P10. So we'll have to see how his racecraft does. I think one to watch for this race would probably be Stevenson, as he's going to be starting P4, which is quite high up considering his pace. However, is he going to manage to keep it together? Theo Krej, he was running quite high up during the race at some points. I believe he was P4 at one point, and on pace was fighting with Mulfatova. He's down in P10 for race 1, so he's going to be starting on pole. He's going to be an interesting one to watch as well. So we've got a little bit of a mix. We've got some cars that I feel like are out of position. They're higher up the grid than they should be in a way. So yeah, I think we're going to see just a continuation of race 1 really in a way.
Hopefully they can all keep it clean. Obviously, when it's turned on its head like this, the guys at the back really want to get through. So as the lights come on here, and away they go. Not the best start again for the Impact Blue car on the outside, car on the inside with the better getaway, and then they will have the inside for turn 1.
Ooh, they're gonna go 4-1. They're not gonna see each other there.
Oh, somehow they've managed it all through cleanly there into turn 2.
Oh, the stream died.
Hello, sorry, back. So mostly clean as they come into the middle sector here. Side by side, Radokia in the lead. There's a car around. That is completely my fault. I said it was clean. That's a Griffin car, and one of the solo drivers, Amorim, spun around there. Coming
That's
into
Amorim.
sector 2.
So Radokia, now one of the performers of race 1 leading. We've got Molfitova and Stevenson fighting for P3, I believe. Stevenson keeping around the outside. Wow, that's impressive there. They're still side by side. That's some beautiful racing there. Still gonna be side by side. And Stevenson managed to get past, but Molfitova looking for the inside line there. Can't get it quite yet. So DRS obviously not yet open. Let's see what's gonna happen. Got Sampasi from P17 up to P10, so that's an amazing start for him. Smith as well in P9, I believe. I don't quite know where he started. Ooh, as we see, one of the younger GP cars, I believe that must be Barbieri, going on a move on Wallen. He manages to make it stick beautifully and get past Stevenson and Molfetova. Time for round 2. Going into T3 side by side, Molfetova on the outside. I believe that's Park on the inside. They're going to go 3 wide. Do they make it work? They do make it work. Park managed to get past 2 of them there. If he's going to make this stick. Still side by side with Stevenson. Stevenson not backing down. And Park losing out there, I believe.
Yeah, 360 degrees by the looks of things, just off camera, but I think there must have been a touch there, and he's lost the positions back down to P8. Barbary up to P5 from P10.
Doing quite well, lap 2 already, 5 positions. Stevenson keeping it P3. Somewhat helping his teammate in a way. Cody Lawrence has not made any progress so far. He's down in P11. So that's quite, you know, the opposite tail from race 1. Barbieri doing an amazing job in the first 2 laps so far, but now has got to fight past some of the more feisty people in Trout, or in this race so far, let's say. Molfetova and Stevenson both very brave, very hard defenders. We've got Radokia in the lead still, so he's managed to pull a bit of a gap on Krej. Doing quite well, keeping it calm so far in the lead. Doing the fastest lap of the race as well. There you go, that's the advantage of clean air. As we see Vanet and Wallenty jousting for position, as well as Molfetova and Barbieri. They are fighting for P3 at the moment. No, P4. Barbieri, is he going to make the move stick on Molfetova? And does so far, but the switchback on Molfetova. Beautiful defense there. And I believe Barbieri will have to say no and pull out of the move and wait for his next opportunity. As we see there behind, Wallenty is still defending from Kevin Vanet, managing to keep the position as... Oof! Big moment there from Wallenty on the exit. Ooh. I believe Barbieri here clearly has the pace on the car in front of him, but can't manage to get past so far. In the early stages of the race, Kevin Vanet still trying to make his move on Wallenty there, as Lawrence has made it past a couple of cars, I believe. Lawrence now in P9, about to try and get into the DRS of Park, of this little group there that is fighting for P6 basically. Barbieri now not as close as he was last lap, but obviously this lap I believe access to DRS is open, so his wing is gonna open. He's gonna stick behind Molfetova, and which side is he gonna pick? He's gonna pick the inside line and manage to get past easily before the braking zone. Now can he defend in the second DRS zone? Vanet as well managed to get past Wallenty finally after a few laps. Molfetova now gonna have the DRS for this second zone, but not close enough to make a move, as we see Vanet and Wallenty jousting for position still. Wallenty managing to keep it around the outside there, I believe. Please switch back. Thank you.
Lost my
They are side by side. They are side by side still in the chicane, still keeping it side by side. Kevin Vanet losing out, and Park is going to dive down the inside, make a move. Vanet switch back. They are 3 wide again. That's Lawrence, Vanet, and Park. And Cody thinks better of it. Vanet still trying it on the outside. Now Vanet is going to have the DRS. Is he going to be close enough to try and mount a move here? Not yet, not yet. I believe the strategy is to wait until the straight, but Park has the pace a little bit, and Cody Lawrence as well. He's very excited to get past at the moment.
Yeah,
so again, Alex, we're getting amazing racing.
Yeah, it's really well suited for this, and obviously the dynamic here in race 2, you know, Lawrence is down in P9. His race really is with Stevenson or with Barbary, you know, what you would expect from the Premier Series and previous seasons, and he's all the way down in P9, and you see Valenti there has a 5-second gap, so it's the car in front, so that's really, you know, the more time Lawrence spends behind, the more time he's going to have to make up in the latter stages of the race. But Barbary right on the back of Stevenson here. Stevenson may be feeling the dirty air from Craig in front as Barbary gets so close to the behind of his teammate.
Radokia still leading this race after almost 10 minutes of racing. He's doing quite well. I feel if these guys behind them fight each other, it's going to be an interesting thing because they only have so much time to catch up to P1, basically. Obviously, Steve is on the back of Crash at the moment. So it's going to depend on whether Barbieri and Mofitova are going to be aggressive in trying to make a move on him. Once he does get past Crash, if he does get past Crash, obviously Crash might be defending quite efficiently or quite well.
And this is the apex there.
This is the apex that allows his teammate to get really close to him. So teammate, is he gonna wait? He is gonna wait. Yeah, that is the smart move. It is the younger GP handbook move. Oof! As Thomas there gets swallowed by the curb a little bit. So now Stevenson has the DRS on Crash, but Thomas is quite close. Is he gonna go for it? He's gonna go for it on Crash. He does go for it, and he helps his teammate as well. Maybe get past. Both the JGP cars now side by side. Please switch. JGP cars side by side. That's Stevenson on the outside and Barbieri on the inside. Stevenson trying to hand it around the outside of the Impact blue car there. I believe that is Thomas. Yeah, that is Crash still. And now Mofitova trying to go and make a move on Crash. Crash is just dropping down. And Mofitova into the hairpin. Unusual place to make an overtake, but managed to make it stick.
Really feel for Crash there because he was reacting to, I think it was Stevenson down the inside, and he was perfectly lined up for the switchback. But then Barbary comes steaming through as well, just blocking his line. He just had to let them both through. Two positions in one corner, nothing he could really do.
You have a saying at Younger GP, it's teamwork makes the dream work. And the two JGP cars managed to get past Theo Crash there in unison. So now it's a chase. It's a chase for P1, Barbieri and Stevenson chasing after Radokia Mofitova as well in that pack. So this pack, I believe it's this trio really, Barbieri, Stevenson, Mofitova, that is going to try and go for victory here. And yeah, will Radokia manage to keep it together? He's been keeping the lead for quite a while. I remember chasing him in Monaco, season 6, I believe. He's quite a hard person to urge into a mistake. He's a very clean driver, very consistent driver. I hope I'm not cursing him by saying this, but usually he's the kind of guy that, you know, not the easiest to overtake. So let's see what happens. As we see more moves there, that's Andy Park and Wallenty and Lawrence, all fighting for position. I do not know which is which because the liveries are all the same. But Wallenty there seemingly getting out. No, Lawrence getting out on top. Sorry, as Vanet there is looking for a move.
Really strange steering angle from Vanek. Ooh, as he loses the rear. Very Alonso-esque, just chucking in to the corner.
Let's see here in the tight corner. Ooh, he does, yeah. Oh, there you go. Sarah Mofitova, P4. Impressive debut. Impressive debut from the Trout, really. for me, one of the drivers to watch today, because the moves have been beautiful from Zarmafitova. I feel like the aggressiveness has been just enough, you know, on the limit where it's not, you know, it's not unfair, it's not too hard. It doesn't, you know, it's sometimes you do moves and that are aggressive and you're sort of forcing people off and doing that kind of thing. But no, it's not been that. It's just been late on the brakes, you know, attack in the right moment. So here we can see her maybe line up a move on Stevenson. As they're catching up to Roberto Rodocchio now, Sarmofit over there getting alongside Stevenson for just a second. Got Rodocchio still in the lead, but now Barbieri will be on him for the rest of this race, or for the rest of however much he stays in the lead. As behind there we see Kevin Vanett and Wallenty fighting hard. Wallenty as well has, on his first race here, racing one of the most experienced drivers in Formula Trout in the sprint series, so quite impressive debut for him as well, up in P8. Park now, is that Park? No, that is Stevenson. No, that's Barbieri for the lead, I'm sorry. That is for the lead. I'm getting confused with all these similar looking liveries that I chose to put on this car. Yeah, Barbieri now tried to go for the lead early there, but hasn't managed, so now we'll have to wait for DRS. I think that will be the smart move. He is backing up here. Rodocchio really slowing him down at the moment, but now Barbieri will make the use of DRS. He's already alongside before DRS zone even starts, so we'll get past him quite easily. Rodocchio is going to tuck back in the slipstream. Is he going to try to fight it back for P1? No, not at the moment. He's choosing to, you know, not waste too much time. I guess that would be the more strategic choice if you're really certain that you don't have the pace to fight for lead. Just wait, try to stick in DRS, use him to pull yourself further along. And we see Stevenson and Mofitova fighting for the last podium spot. Stevenson managed to stay ahead at the moment. Well done from Stevenson, our obviously very experienced driver, seasons 8, 9, 10, season 10 Premier Series champion. Always providing good racing, always providing hard racing, always one of the fastest drivers, one of the ones to watch in the series. As we see Andy Park following Cody Lawrence. Cody Lawrence hasn't managed to make the progress he did in race 1, which is surprising me. I believe it might be because the drivers ahead have not yet fought this hard. Vanett there still trying to get past Wallenty. Wallenty has been defending, I feel like, for this entire 15 minutes from blue cars.
Do it again now.
Obviously, he's going to do it again now because Bun is there to try and make a move as well. As I've got Christoph Bose in the DMs sending me a bunch of DRS penalties now. He's sort of acting as our race steward at the moment. So I'm just going to communicate that there will be a few DRS penalties maybe post-race for these drivers. Might shuffle up positions. Obviously not what we're going to see. We want to see the racing done on track, but sometimes penalties are necessary, aren't they, Alex?
An important factor of racing.
They are an important factor of racing, as we see two drivers make contact. Vanett there and Wallenty there, still fighting each other. I feel like they've just been fighting all day, all night. They've been racing each other. These guys, they just won't stop. They just won't stop. Wallenty there on the outside. Now they're going to go into chicane together. Are they going to make it round? They are going to make it round. They leave just enough space for each other. Very nicely done. And Vanett still has the inside line, managed to keep it there. They are on different tire compounds, I believe, these drivers. So we've got Wallenty there on the soft. Oof! Contact, no. No. That's not what you want to see. Not how you want it to end for Antoine Bun. Wallenty manages to survive. No, that's Vanet, sorry, that spun around. Anton Ban managed to make it round and is now the next blue car that is gonna harass Wallenty. Stevenson P3 in the DRS of Radokia now. So Radokia might lose another position here, I believe. As we see Stevenson get really close, pull out of the slipstream, now pull alongside, and he manages to get it done just before the braking zone. Leaves the car width though for safety, and move gets none. Now will Molfetova manage to use this moment to get alongside? I believe not, because obviously Radokia profiting from DRS. Oh, Molfetova there goes for the inside, but doesn't manage to stick it, doesn't manage to keep alongside for the chicane, so we'll have to wait. Now, this is a very frustrating moment for a driver like Molfetova, because you're on pace, you're barely sort of eking out every lap, trying your best to keep with Stevenson, and now you've got a slow driver in between yourself and Stevenson that you need to get past as fast as possible.
You can see how much it helps, because like Barbari's 2 seconds up the road for Stevenson there, and that's just getting past Radokia a lap earlier. Build that 2-second gap, and it's just that buffer you need.
Yeah, so now, I mean, even now we're seeing already like 6/10. I believe by the end of this lap, even maybe an 8/10 gap from just to Radokia, and then Molfetova will have to get past Radokia as well, which will lose even more time. You know, Molfetova might be out of DRS once she's gotten past Radokia. But at the moment, Radokia still in DRS as well. This is the thing as well, because when you have cars with DRS, having this DRS train effect is one of the most frustrating things as a driver. I believe Radokia seems to have a massive straight line speed as well, so he's a difficult person to pass at the moment. Still in the podium position, as we see somewhere at the back there. Andy Park and Cody Lawrence still racing each other. They raced each other hard in race 1 as well. So Andy Park there providing amazing racing on his day. Oof! As a late switch to the inside for Lawrence scares Andy Park. I believe they are angry at each other, these two. What do you think?
Thank you some words after the race. That was very aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive there. Unusually aggressive for Cody Lawrence, might I say. He's one of the least, you know, he's a friendly guy. He's a friendly guy. That's all I'm going to say. He's one of the friendliest drivers on this grid. Never caught up in drama. Never caught up in massive incidents. But, you know, if you anger him, if you push him, proof is here, he can be aggressive.
What we'd like to see.
Over
there. Cars here, I think, getting
lap cars getting in the way. That is the teammate of Molfetova. I believe that's Brenna. Molfetova now really close to Radokia. Will probably make the move this time. However, Stevenson already almost a second ahead. So Molfetova will have to use the DRS, use the slipstream here to try and get alongside. Can't do so. I believe Radokia is running really low wing.
Yeah, Radokia's doing a really good job. Keeping it clean.
Great job. Keeping it calm. This is what you have to do now. Just keep it calm. Don't make mistakes. Don't lock up. Don't go too early on throttle. Don't do any of that. Just try to stay within the DRS. Also doing a great job of staying within the DRS of Stevenson.
Yeah, it's really helping out. You know, that DRS is invaluable in keeping that car behind. If Stevenson pulled that gap in 2.7 seconds, Barbari's built to Stevenson, so Stevenson not really able to extract as much pace as his teammate there from the car at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, this car seemingly at the moment suiting Thomas Barbieri quite well. Cody Lawrence, has he managed to shake DRS off? No, he hasn't, so we might see him there from Andy Park. As we see Eric Brenner, I thought that was, my heart stopped because I thought that was moved over there for a second. Eric Brenner has spun off, is down in last place. Radokia, still, I mean, you know, he's not losing time to Stevenson at the moment. I would say he's gained this lap. Last lap at this point he was 8 tenths behind, so he's doing quite well. Bit of an underdog performance right now. He is scoring points for his team. He's just not prepared a livery. The chicken car is basically in P3 at the moment. The chicken is not on the car, but the chicken car in spirit is in P3.
It's still in the egg.
Yes, so right now Mofitova still trying to get close. But look at I mean, on the straights, I look at how close Rodocchio is managing to get to Stevenson. Like, opens the RS, stays in slipstream, and is getting a couple of tenths every straight. Look at this. So yeah, Rodocchio definitely running a top speed suited setup at the moment, and it's working really well for him. As Park and Lawrence are still fighting, so Park, I feel like today, he's had really good pace. He's shown really promising racecraft, but I feel like he's been a little bit unlucky with how both races have played out for him. I feel like he's a little bit out of position because he's fighting Lawrence, who's one of the fastest drivers, who himself is out of position. And he's on the soft tires as well, so he's sort of aiming for a late race advantage.
Slap traffic in front of Lawrence here.
No, that is Theo Cred.
Is it? Oh, looks lose of time. It was over a second ahead earlier in the lap. You're right, I apologise.
So Theo Crash, the Dutch driver at the moment, P5, keeping it together for the moment. Obviously, at some point in this race, he was up in the podium position. Now is falling down. As we see Andy Park there on the back of Cody Lawrence, with these two have another big fight. They are side by side. As we see finally the move from Mofitova. Mofitova on Rodocchio. Does Rodocchio manage to defend at the moment? Yes, he does. But Mofitova right on the back of him. Does he have the RS? He does have the RS. So it'll allow him to try and defend hard. He's really fighting for it. It's the last podium position. He's gonna try to switch back. Is it gonna work? He's still there, but has to pull out of it. Mofitova up into P3, so now allows Mofitova to maybe try and get to Stevenson. Has only one lap left to do so. Theo Krej now has lost the position to Lawrence, so Andy Park there. Wow, half the card on the runoff. Very aggressive. He's been a very aggressive driver today.
Like it.
Using all the track and then some to try and make his moves. Obviously now has DRS and slipstream to try and get past Theo Krej. Theo Krej going defensive there. Also must say, you know, Theo Krej himself, I believe, you know, not a bad showing for his first race. He's the highest positioned impact blue car. And the fastest impact blue car really on pace today. Outmatching his very experienced teammates as a rookie. Roberto Rodocchio there off now. That's the last lap now, so Thomas Barbieri caught us by surprise there, crossing the line in first. Stevenson P2, Mofitova P3, and Rodocchio P4. Now we've got Cody Lawrence there managing to get P5 right at the end, Theo Krej P6, P7 for Park, P8 for Wallenty, and that's the points positions, because only the top 8 score points in race 2 in this sprint series. So yeah, extremely well done there by all the points finisher. Bunn and Olsen round out the top 10. A little bit unlucky for Olsen. Would have liked to see him up in the top 5, but after that amazing performance in race 1, he hasn't managed. He's been a bit unlucky and hasn't managed to get up in race 2. So yeah, what do you think about that? Race over now?
Yeah, I was very caught by surprise then. I was not watching the clock. I was like, oh, the race is finished. I believe it was a bit of the backwards the last lap where the timer counted down just as they got to the line. Didn't manage to do the lap.
We see some donuts there from Mofitova. podium on debut, on Trout League debut, nonetheless.
Impressive
And the
stuff.
team debut
All the new
for
teams.
Le Samurai Racing. Their team is called, a very cool name, if I might say so myself. And yeah, very impressive. Who would be your driver of the day?
I mean, for race 1, it was Cody Lawrence, but for race 2 here, separating them, Radokia for sure. I mean, you know, led from the start, but just such a solid drive, just so composed. So often you'll see drivers which maybe you're not mixing it up with right at the top all the time, and in race 2 when they are leading, they just crumble under the pressure. But Radokia there, just rock solid. The whole 25 minutes, just holding on to that position, not able to get the podium at the end, but P4 is still a fantastic result for him. Fantastic result for his team. I'm sure he'll be happy with that one.
Yeah, I mean he's coming home now with a lot of points from this race 1, and you know, one of the best performances I've seen him do in Trout League so far. And yeah, amazing race from him. I think for me, driver of the day would be Mulfitova. I liked the moves. I liked the aggressiveness. I enjoyed watching her race, and especially on debut, to be that confident, you know, to make these kind of moves on these people that have been here for a while and have the experience of the sprint series and how it works and the reverse grid and all that. I think that's very impressive. So yeah, now we are waiting for interviews, right?
Yep.
So we've got
new people here.
Should we take the winner in first?
I think so.
All right, we'll take the winner in. Thomas, amazing performance there. Pole, race 1 win, race 2 win. Can't really do any better, can you?
Yeah, not. I think we can do better. I
You
think.
can do better.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if I
How?
don't miss my start at the race 1 first, so I need to shortcut like the whole first corners, and then second race. I think the thing where I'm most happy today is like the race 2. Managed to not get taken out very cleanly, got myself to the front. I think that's the best thing because like I usually like maybe win the first race because
Yeah,
on quali, and then I got killed in the second, but this one was very good.
well, it was a very impressive performance. I mean, on stream, sadly, you weren't shown a lot because of your dominance, really. Especially race 1. There was not, you know, after you had gotten past Steve, there was not a lot to show. You managed to pull out a 12-second gap, if I remember correct, on Felipe Olsen, who was P2.
Yeah, I mean, like I was trying to give my best, even if I was leading. I know maybe like I don't know if I have penalty for whatever happened in turn 1, even though I don't think it's my fault and I've done good in that regard. But I was just trying to push in, trying to stay within, to be very consistent lap time wise. And I was the fastest and the most consistent driver, so that was all I expected from me. So that was
Yeah,
perfect.
I mean, maximum points. I'm supposed to be a commentator here, but as a team owner, you know, I'm very proud of you for this race. It was really good.
Well, I mean, most seasons, like I wait very long time before getting race win.
So
Getting
yeah,
the first race win on the future race was already triggered,
you've
but
got 2.
also the sprint one with the reverse grid is even better, I'd say.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the points look after all the standings are done. But I believe you have quite a significant points gap, seeing as Steve had a bit of an unlucky race there in race 1. So yeah, you're the leader of the championship by, I assume, what is quite a margin.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you for the race and congratulations on winning both of them.
Thank you.
I'm
See you in
gonna
Imola.
pull in. Yeah, see you at Imola next week. It's a double header this week, so yeah, Imola gonna provide even more exciting racing.
Exactly. See you guys.
See ya. So I'm gonna pull in here one of the rookie drivers, Sarah Molfetova. So, hello, Sarah.
Hello.
So, would you like to go through how that race went for you? We were watching on stream a lot of battles you were involved in, a lot of overtakes, a lot of amazing moves.
Yeah, so
We singled you out.
the
Yeah.
first race did not really go as I wanted to, and somehow I still ended up in a decent position. Though, you know, in my mirrors I saw a lot of spins. In front of me I saw a lot of spins. So in the end, I think I just fit into the pack in a way. But yeah, I was not comfortable with the car. Like I had a good setup, I could push it in qualifying, but sometimes it just spun in the high speed corners, and I could never figure out what I was doing wrong. So for the second race, I took off 2 clicks of the front wing, and immediately the setup felt perfect the entire race. No slides, no spins, no moments at all, and I felt comfortable to battle people. And when I caught up to the DRS train that I was in towards the end, I initially wanted to get by so I could carry on driving with Thomas because he had just overtaken, and I wanted to stay with him so I could possibly fight for P2 or even better. But that didn't happen. I ended up stuck in a DRS train, and I was hoping that eventually they would make a mistake or it would just break and I would be able to take advantage. And at that point, I did not realize it was the final lap, but I just I just lifted off a little bit, then just took my own line, focused on myself, and got the best exit of my life out of that final corner. While in front of me, they got a worse exit, and yeah, then I overtook, got to the final corner, and realized it's the final lap. So I crossed the line, and I was already celebrating as I was crossing the line because I did not think I would get a podium in my first race here.
We singled you out as I singled you out because Alex picked someone else, but I singled you out as driver of the day for today.
No.
Yeah, no.
Maybe maybe that second race you can make a point, but in that first race, I don't think a driver who spins 3 times should be called driver of the day.
True. But that second race was really impressive, and up to those spins in race 1 as well, I found it very impressive. The moves you had made. I don't know on what drivers. Quite a late move into the first turn. T1, very impressive dive bomb overtake on someone. So that was the reason. It was more for the racecraft than for the spins, obviously.
Yeah, I would say of my recent races, because I've been racing for a long time, and in recent times I felt quite clumsy. Like I couldn't properly focus for the race, and I felt like this even this morning. I didn't feel like I could focus, but when the race came, suddenly everything just felt right, and I just felt comfortable again.
That's great. That's always great to. It showed, especially in the race 2. It showed. It definitely showed to make your way up to P3, and especially in that DRS train, it's always frustrating to get stuck behind someone that you're faster than, but you just can't overtake him. I believe Radokia as well had a little bit of a straight line speed advantage. He was running some sort of low down for setup. So yeah, very, very impressive that you managed to still get past and get that P3, and really good pace all in both. Thank you, and I hope to see you next race in Imola then.
Thank you.
Next week.
Absolutely.
Right. Have a good evening.
You too, and shout outs to Thomas. He's the absolute goat of this of this first round.
Yeah, he did really well. So I'll tell him that. I mean, jump into voice and tell him. All right. So we've got Cody Lawrence next. Cody, how did that go for you? We saw race 1. Hello. Can you hear us or me?
I can hear you, Maxi.
All right. Well, race 1, really impressive performance there to go from last on the grid to P3, I believe it was.
Right. Yeah.
But then race 2, maybe you can tell us what happened. We didn't get much on stream. We got a lot of the battles with Andy Park on stream, but not much else. Not really, you know. You didn't obviously make the same type of progress as you did in race 1. So maybe you can tell us why that is.
Yeah, race 2. I kind of just got put middle 4 at turn 1, and then I got run off at turn 2. I think I'm not sure if Kevin Ekron is inside or not, but I got cleaned out wide, and then put 4 wide again into turn 3, and then Giovanni, the slightest tap. I just took a look at it as well. We were messaging as well about it, and the slightest tap sent me into a near 360. Like, I don't even know how. It's almost like the car got lifted up in the air from the slightest tap. I know I've said slightly multiple times, but it was just super unfortunate. I know Giovanni's a good driver, so it's like I don't know how that nearly basically spins me, and I know like I said, I know he's a good driver, so it's just unfortunate how it played out. RSS, PSP, AC, Bull, you know what, and that kind of stemming progress through race 2. Tried to make up as best I could. I think without that, maybe I could have been in that lead pack, but it would have been tough to get more than 4th or 5th. Had the fights with Andy. It was kind of questionable if we were going to get to Theo. I was trying to get the point across to him. Say, like, I didn't know if he was at VC or not, but I was trying to tell him if we work together, we'll both get to Theo and have a shot. But I think eventually the point came across, or I was able to hang on enough to have a shot for 5th. And Theo put on a good defense for 6th as well. And Roberto, really well done for P4 in that second race. So well done to both of them.
Yeah, well, Theo, obviously rookie driver, but managed to keep it pretty clean during the race. So congrats to him there, and yeah, congrats to yourself for making that well insane run to the podium in race 1. Then still salvaging some good points in race 2.
Right. Yeah. It's. I would like more, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll try to make the next couple. I'm not sure about Silverstone. I've got some plans already for that, so we'll just take it race by race and see where it takes us.
I well, obviously, as not only as a usually team principal, but also organizer of the series at the moment, I wish to see you at every round possible. So I hope to hope that you make the next few races, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's race.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take care, y'all.
Have a good one. Have a good night.
Thank you.
So last person waiting for interview, Eric Brenner. Hello, Eric. Can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah.
So maybe you can tell us how that race went for you. We saw you on stream a couple of times. You had a few spins. Looked like a little bit of a messy race for you, maybe. Maybe you can run us through that.
Yeah. Well, I was very, let's say, I was just not prepared enough. And for example, some corners I was fighting for last place, and then the car in front of me braked a little earlier than I expected, so I kind of cooked my tires, and yeah, I got a little too much on the throttle, and I kind of just, I ruined it for myself. So.
Well, it's sort of a thing when when you feel a little bit less confident in preparation and stuff. You can get into a bad rhythm, and then mistake after mistake happens. But I hope maybe for Imola, it's a little bit of a more approachable track, let's say, than Bahrain. It's a more common track, I guess, on Assetto Corsa especially. It's not a mod; it's one of the standard tracks, so maybe you'll have a bit more preparation. You'll know it a bit better and put in a better race than this one.
Yeah, and I don't really like Bahrain, if that means anything. It's not really a track I spend much time on, and
right.
Yeah, I was busy doing other stuff as well. So yeah, I was just kind of unprepared, and I mean, to be fair, I didn't expect to finish race 1 at all. So at least I'm happy with that result, and I'm also hoping that I showed some competent racing today instead of just spinning.
Right. Wait. Is my mic working? Sorry.
Yeah, it's working.
Sorry. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean. It was great to have you nonetheless. I hope to see you in the next few races. Your teammate had an amazing race. We had your teammate here earlier for interview. I picked your teammate out for driver of the day actually, because some of the moves that we're seeing during the race were really amazing. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah, the team has done well, I guess, on points, and we'll update the standings during the week, and you'll see where you're positioned.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll just have to work on it, and hopefully next week I will perform better.
Okay. Well, I hope you do, and I hope to see you in the next races.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interview, and I think that is going to conclude our interviews for tonight. That was Eric Brenna, one of the rookies of Formula Trout this race and this season for Le Samurai Motorsport. So yeah, Alex, anything you want to add for the end of this stream?
Yeah, so thanks, Maxi, for doing the interviews. Yeah, as you say there was a number of rookies, and that can go further. If anyone is watching and would like to get involved, you can join the Discord server. Links in the description below. Everything's ran through our Discord server. Just say hello, and we can point you in the right direction if nothing's clear. But you saw we had a lot of rookies on the grid, a lot of old names on the grid as well, and fantastic up and down. You know, rookies mixing with the old guard, and yeah, put on a fantastic show for us. So if you want to get involved, do. Other than that, yeah, I think that's everything. Great race today. I was very impressed. I wasn't sure how this car would be, and it's exceeded expectations.
A very positive surprise. I mean, let's be honest, we were struggling a bit to get people excited in the season, but maybe this race will help. And if you are watching, anybody that is watching that is not racing, why? Please race. Look at this. It's great. So yeah, the car is definitely working. It's definitely suited to good racing. So this race is proof. Please join.
Yeah. So I'll just say thanks once again, everyone that has raced. Thanks, Maxi, for helping out today and obviously organising everything. This without you. Next round is next week.
Yes, it's Saturday at the same time at Imola. Be there or be square.
Yeah. Hope to see everyone next.